Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. As you all are aware now, the Lakers lost a game to the Utah Jazz, a team that they just they beat 2 days prior to that game. They actually beat them in LA, but they went down there to Utah and they lost to the Jazz. And for the Jazz are playing in Utah is very tough, man. Even the Clippers had last night ended up going into overtime to beat them. And we're going to get to that a little bit later because I want to talk about Uncle Ben Simmons. But yeah, so they lost to them and all of that, and people started reacting. People started producing various shows around that. And something that I noticed that I just couldn't believe. Do you know after the Lakers lost that game, there were little murmurs out there by some, I don't know who these are, Laker fans, LeBron fans, I don't know who they are, subtly and quietly starting to point to Luka's weight. You see, look, whenever there's a LeBron team, I'm going to keep saying this because it's the damn reality. Whenever there's a LeBron team and they don't do well, just know that there's a scapegoat on the way. And now it's already starting. They're already looking for the next person to blame and the next thing to place blame on. And it started with Luka. And I'm going to get into that a little bit later as we go on with the show. So yesterday I was watching a segment on ESPN First Take where they were reacting to the Lakers' loss. And it had the following headline. I saw it on NBA on ESPN. It said, Stephen A. Smith pinpoints Lakers' lack of size, not Luka and LeBron, and reason for low ceiling. It was about an 11-minute video. So I clicked on this video to hear what Stephen A. Smith was talking about. And as I was listening to Stephen A. Smith speak, I realized that this guy either didn't watch a second of the Lakers games with Luka or spent absolutely zero energy on any real analysis as to why the Lakers ended up losing that second game and how Luka and LeBron James are playing together as a unit. And then towards the tail end of his analysis, he stunned NBA fans with one of the most outrageous takes I have ever heard when it came down to analyzing why a team is struggling and what Luka needs to be prepared for since he's now playing for the Los Angeles Lakers. So what we'd like to do now is we'd like to play what Stephen A. Smith had to say. Put on your seatbelts for this one because this one was just absolutely crazy. And then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to what he had to say here.
I know in Tinseltown, sizzle matters. I would happen to know that I'm here right now. Okay, sizzle matters, all right? When you talk about Luka and the game that he brings to the table, his conditioning is going to be exponentially more important in Los Angeles than even it was in Dallas. Do you know why, El? Do you know why, Wendy? Because here, the show matters. That's why they called it Showtime when Magic was leading fast breaks in Inglewood all of those years when they were going to championship. When Kobe and Shaq ultimately came to town. The show matters, okay? And when you're Luka and you think about the personnel that the Lakers have historically had in its stable, all of them were practically showmen. Even the stoic intellectual that was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The sky hook was the sky hook. And then Magic comes along, right? And then Worthy. What about when you gave it to him on the base? He had one of the quickest spin moves in NBA history. You had Coop trailing, all right? And on a fast break, you might kick it out to him. And he's hitting the spot from the top of the key all the time. Even a Byron Scott. Remember Norm Nixon before him. Even in the days of Kobe and Shaq, with Robert Horry hitting a game-winning shot in a playoff game against Sacramento, with Derek Fisher saving the day in San Antonio. Everything about the Lakers is a show. So Luka is fitting in right now. But in order to really, really excel as a Laker, he's going to have to get himself in peak condition because just scoring points the way Luka does won't be enough for Laker fans. They want to see a show too. They want to see you pushing the ball. They want to see you skating on cats. They want to see you literally embarrassing cats and stuff like that. In other places, just be effective. Just get it done. In Tinseltown, it's a different, in the purple and gold especially, it's a different animal. And so when I watched him performing last night against Utah and stuff like that, still looks a bit sluggish, obviously, working himself back into shape, but the Dallas Mavericks would tell you he ain't never really been in shape. They're going to look at all of these things. Laker Nation knows about it, and the requirement, like Wendy said, not this year, but beyond, is going to be those ancillary elements that I just brought up, because they care about that in the purple and gold. That's what I want y'all to remember.
Did y'all hear what this guy was talking about? This man said, Luka also has to realize where he's at. Laker fans are used to players running up and down the court. They're used to a show, and you putting on a show. And Laker fans want to be entertained by a player running up and down the court. That's what Laker fans are looking for. Suggesting that Luka needs to get in weight because it's about the show and his physique and his muscles and all of this. Bro, is this what we're doing right now? Is this real analysis about Luka having muscles to be able to run up and down? I'm lost here. When the Lakers were three-peating with Shaq, was it an up and down run-a-thon, running up and down the court? No. It was them posting up Shaq going to work, and Kobe doing his thing. And they won championships. I never heard at one point that, the style of Shaq. No, we're talking about the Showtime Lakers. That was one version of the Lakers where the team was built around a point guard in Magic Johnson that would push the break. That was a unique situation. There aren't many situations like that in the NBA, and I can't think of many iterations of the Lakers like that. So we got that aspect of it about Luka's muscles and all of this stuff. The thing I want to address, which I mentioned earlier in the show, which was when I was talking about the people getting ready to go at Luka because of his weight. Y'all think I'm making this up. We put up some posts on the community yesterday. People thought it was me. No, I'm reacting to some of the stuff that people said. Just last night, a Laker fan did an entire 2-hour live, talking about the Lakers got duped in the trade. Talking about Luka Doncic is so fat. This is a Laker fan. This is a Laker fan saying, not me. Not me. They're saying, Luka's out of shape, man. We got the raw deal. Man, this dude is so fat, and this and this and that, and this and this and that, and this and this and that. And I'm sitting there like, so let me get this straight. You're saying all of this to allude to what exactly? That the problem now is what? Luka? Because I'm lost. I'm lost. Because all I know is that for all LeBron and all of his muscles, was he in the finals last year? Was he in the finals the year before that? Wasn't he in the finals the year before? No, he wasn't. So now it's Luka's weight. Luka, with his weight issues, was in the finals last year. Ever since Luka has become a Laker, let me give you his splits. Luka, in the 2 games since he's been a Laker, he is averaging 15 points a game on 40% shooting from the field, 26.7% shooting from the 3, 50% shooting from the free throw line, getting you 4.5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 turnovers. The months prior, he was shooting in the 50s. The month before that, high 40s, 46, 47. And then the start of the season, that's when he had a very low start to the whatever it is, right? Now, some people are saying, oh, well, it's because of he just can't get off an injury. Y'all acting like as if Luka came off an Achilles tear. Is this the first time Luka's been injured where he came back and his numbers look like that? No. Look, people need to also, that's why I was surprised by Stephen A. Smith's analysis, why I said he didn't watch any of these games. Because if you watch the game, you got to, okay, look, we got to get down to the nitty gritty here. And the question is this, do these two guys fit together? Because based off of what I'm seeing, the person's game that's suffering in all of this is Luka. Luka looks passive. He's just out there, standing out there. Sometimes he has the ball in his hands. Other times he doesn't. And for this thing to really, really work, Luka needs to run the show. He needs to run the show for this thing to work. If they keep playing him the style that they're doing now, I don't think it's going to work. People are talking about, oh, they want Luka to get up and down the court. They want Luka to get up and down. When have you ever seen Luka thrive in that type of offense? So what do you want? Do you want Luka to fit to what you're doing that didn't even that's not working, that's had you in the play-in and not in the finals at all? Or do you want to adjust to the guy that is supposed to be the cornerstone of your franchise going into the future? I'm lost with all of this. My biggest point is this. Are there people out there that are really trying to start subtly pointing in the direction of Luka Doncic? Is this what we're about to do? Because if this Lakers group doesn't perform well in the second half of the season, are we about to blame Luka? That's the first thing. The second thing is this. If Luka continues to put up bad numbers in the second half of the season, at what point are we going to look over to his running mate and say, wait a minute. What's the common denominator here? I mean, what's the common denominator here? So I'm going to be patiently waiting to see if people start pointing blame a little, because the thing I'm now hearing is Luka's weight. And it seems like they already found another scapegoat. And now it's Luka Doncic. And if that's what's about to happen, if y'all didn't like me now, or y'all going to hate me later. Because if y'all didn't like me now, y'all going to hate me a little bit later. As y'all know, the Clippers signed Ben Simmons about a week or so ago. And the moment I got that news, or the moment the news came out rather, people started sending me messages on Instagram. Yo, what you think about the letter? They got picked up Uncle Ben, son. They picked up Uncle Ben. What do you think about? People were cracking jokes. Yo, what about the Ben Simmons video? What about the Ben? And when I got that news, I was just so emotionally drained. I'm like, bro, what am I supposed to say? Like, what are we supposed to do with this? Now, why did I feel that way? Because at the time, Uncle Ben for the season was averaging 6 points per game. Let me hold up. I'm looking at these numbers. What am I seeing here? Regular season. Okay, yeah. He was averaging 6 points per game. Right? Oh, damn. I'm looking at the damn splits. Hold on a second. I'm looking at the splits. And I'm like, anyway, he was averaging 6 points per game this season. I can look at it right now. Shooting 0% from the three, damn near 0% from the free throw line, getting you 5 rebounds and 6.9 assists, and I believe he was coming off the bench. So when they got Ben Simmons, I'm like, what am I supposed to be feeling about this? Like, honestly, what am I supposed to be feeling about this? I saw a segment on Gil's Arena where they were like, no, this is a great pickup because you got another defensive player on the roster, another playmaker, and all of that. I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. But yeah, you can go ahead and get the hell out of my face with that one, right? So what happens? Yesterday, in a game against the Utah Jazz, Ben Simmons made his debut, and in that game, Kawhi Leonard didn't play. So I said, let me tune in. And when I tuned in the first quarter, or whatever quarter it was I was watching, Ben was on the bench. Ben was on the bench. So I was like, well, I'm going to keep an eye on this game. Let me see if when Uncle Ben comes in the game. So as I'm watching the game, I'm looking at Uncle Ben, and I'm like, okay, Uncle Ben is playing, but I'm tuning in and out of the game, but he looks aggressive and all of that. So I didn't watch the full game. So at the end of the game, so I went to bed, and I woke up to look at the full game highlights. And to my amazement, Ben Simmons played really, really good coming off the bench. And I was absolutely floored. And I'm like, I know I'm not the only one that's stunned by this. So this is the breakdown that we want to get into right now. So let's get into Ben Simmons' performance here. Okay, so for the game, Ben Simmons played 27 minutes. Ty Lue played Ben Simmons. Here's what's most surprising. In the 27 minutes that he played, Ben Simmons attempted 5 shots and made 4 out of his 5 shots. He didn't attempt any 3-pointers, but Ben Simmons went to the free throw line and hit all 4 of his free throws. All 4? A guy that's shooting like around 0 or 20 or 30, whatever the hell he's shooting this season from the free throw line? That's a stunner. He then comes off the bench, gets them 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, and a block, and get this, 0 turnovers. 0. And when I was watching the game, Ben Simmons was pushing the pace. He was playing excellent defense. I got to give him his props. Son was playing very, very well. And to come off the bench and score 12 points is very impressive. And the reason it was impressive is because for the first time in a very long time, Ben Simmons looked aggressive. He looked aggressive. Now, we're seeing 5 field goal attempts, but he attempted more because of those free throws. So really, we're looking at, he attempted 7, 8 shots in the game? Now, some of you are like, it's only 7 field goals, but that's not, Ben Simmons really isn't aggressive as a player. And he's not been showing that. So for him to score 12 points coming off the bench, playing fantastic defense, playing high IQ basketball, I got to clap for Ben Simmons, man. You got to give credit where it's due. And I've been one of the harshest critics on Ben Simmons. I saw the quotes where he said it feels good to be in a situation where you feel wanted. I get that. And I was pleasantly surprised, and I'm sure I wasn't the only one. He really surprised me. Like, really, really, really surprised me. So, congratulations to Ben Simmons, man. No, for real, I'm not being facetious or sarcastic or anything. Like, look, no, congratulations to him. And to me, it really signifies a positive thing moving forward. Now, what does this mean for the Clippers? Okay, we don't produce much Clippers content, and y'all know the reason why. Clippers done broke my heart for the last 5 years. It's just, I reached the point I'm like, this is just too much for me. So this season, I don't think the Clippers are winning the championship or anything like that, but I'm like, you know what? Periodically, we'll talk about the Clippers. Hell, we spoke about the Knicks more in the last 2-3 weeks than we spoke about the Clippers. But what does this mean for the Clippers moving forward? And I don't like to get into, I think the Clippers going to do that. No, I've been there, done that, made a complete bozo out of myself, and I refuse to do that to myself again, where at the end of the season, people are roasting me, flaming me up, like just totally making all kind of crazy comments and making fun of me. I've had enough. I've been roasted enough. But what does this mean for them? Well, look, the Clippers just picked up another defender, another playmaker, and another guy that can give their offense a little bit more of a push, the way Russell Westbrook used to give them, especially going to that second unit. He allows them to play fast, but he's such a smart player, even if he's in the starting lineup, you can hide him in terms of his offense where he doesn't really score. But he can still roll to the basket and be a threat at the rim. And that's what he showed last night. You see, before, it was one thing with him not even attempting threes. But it was another thing where he wouldn't even look to attack the basket when he was right under the rim. Ben Simmons attacked the basket yesterday. So now he's a threat on the floor. And here's why it's good. And I'm going to say this. And obviously the Clippers know this because they're very smart. Here's how the Ben Simmons helps the Clippers. If you look at the Dallas Mavericks matchups in the past with Luka, how Luka would absolutely destroy the Clippers, it was when the Clippers kept Ivica Zubac on the floor. So what Luka would do is he would search that matchup. If you go look at Luka's numbers against Kawhi, when Kawhi was his primary defender, he's shooting in the 30s. So what Luka would do is he would get a switch either on Patrick Beverley, an undersized guard, or a big, and he would just destroy them the same way he did Rudy Gobert last year. But in the case of a Ben Simmons on the floor, if you go up against a team with, for instance, like a Luka Doncic, what that then allows Ty Lue to do is take Ivica Zubac off the floor, put Ben Simmons in this position. So now when you want to get the switch, you're switching on to Ben Simmons. And if you don't get Ben Simmons, you're going to get what's the guy's name? Derrick Jones Jr. If you don't get Derrick Jones Jr., you got Chris Dunn, who's a great defender. If you don't get him, you get Kawhi Leonard. So now the Clippers have found a way to combat that particular strategy in the playoffs. So if Ben Simmons is going to continue to play like this, with this level of confidence, he adds an entirely new wrinkle to what this team is doing. So I got to give him the credit. I didn't expect nothing from Ben Simmons. And if this is how he's going to play moving forward, with this level of aggression, the Clippers, they got to steal. They got to steal in the free agency market. Congratulations to Ben Simmons, man. You played fantastically well, and you shut me the hell up. I stand corrected. Congratulations to him. Okay. Another LeBron fan strikes again. Would you believe it? Who saw this one coming? Who knew that LeBron fans do this? I mean, it's only like what, been 48, 72 hours since Winnie the Pooh came at me. Some was so mad. I'm like, look at the relax, man, relax, right? So it's nothing new here. It's nothing new. So, as you guys know, Nick Wright is one of the biggest LeBron James zealots in all of media. He's a huge LeBron James supporter, represented by Clutch, etc., etc. And he gets really pissed off when someone goes at his Pookie Bear LeBron James, right? Nick Wright doesn't hold back whatsoever. So, as you guys remember, I think it was about 3 weeks ago, Stephen A. Smith went on ESPN First Take to essentially plead with LeBron. He was pleading with him. Please, LeBron, take pity on Bronny. Bronny out here not looking too good and blah, 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 blah. And it made all kind of headlines. So for those of y'all who don't remember, just to give y'all some context, I want to play what Stephen A. Smith originally said on ESPN First Take to LeBron, pleading with him for Bronny, and then want to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to Smith here.
I'm really trying to be as respectful as I possibly can be towards LeBron James. One of the top 2 or 3 players in the history of basketball, number 2 in my eyes. A treasure to the game of basketball that we should and will all miss when he is gone. I am pleading with LeBron James as a father. Stop this. Stop this. We all know that Bronny James is in the NBA because of his dad. The first game of the season, opening night, the Griffies in attendance, father-son duo playing in an NBA game for the first time, an absolutely positively wonderful story. And then reality sets in. We love what we're seeing from him in the G League because that's where you belong. As you hone your skills and you get better and you legitimately earn, which I believe he has the potential to do. I am rooting for Bronny James. It would be cruel to root against him. He's a wonderful kid. I wish him nothing but the best. But he's LeBron James' son. And everybody knows what attention that brings. Molly, Doggy, put them up on the screen because I want to see their face when I say this. Right now, Bronny James is averaging 0.3 points, 0.3 assists, and 0.4 rebounds. You know what people are saying. You know what they're going to do to this kid. In 13 games, he has played 44 minutes. He has scored 4 points. He is shooting 1 of 16 from the field, 0 for 7 from three-point range. How are you doing him favors? We know that he's not ready yet. And I'm saying this with compassion. I'm asking the greatest player in the game, one of the top 2 players in the history of basketball, an ambassador for this game, the face of the league, a 4-time champion, a guy that's gone to 10 NBA finals, one of the greatest we have ever or will ever see, who is a basketball savant. You know better than me, better than Doggy, better than JJ Redick, better than Rob Pelinka, better than any basketball analysis or analyst that exists. You know what these numbers mean. You know what it's going to do to your son, to people who are missing out on opportunities, that are busting their tail on other NBA teams in the G League, in Europe, and everywhere else, what kind of opportunity they're starving for. You're exposing your son like this? I know I'm not questioning LeBron James' intent as if it's dishonorable, Doggy. It's incredibly honorable. He's a wonderful dad. I swear to y'all on everything I love, I'm not trying to be disrespectful in any way. I'm simply saying, to have that moment on game one of the NBA season is one thing. To propel it to a point where he's on the bench, he's in uniform, he's taking up a roster spot, and now you're giving him time in the first quarter, and you see the absence of production. How are you helping him? I just don't get it. I really don't see, I really don't get it. I really don't.
So you heard what he said. Well, apparently, Nick Wright obviously saw that, and he was waiting in the cut to get at Stephen A. Smith. So I think in the last game that the Lakers played against the Utah Jazz, Bronny came in early in the fourth quarter, and he played very well. I don't remember how many points. Was it 12 points or something like that? He had a lot of points. He had a step back three. No, he had 2 threes. I think he had an and one or something like that, right? Played well, had a lot of confidence. So Nick Wright, then doing the show with his son, I believe, decided towards the second half of the segment that we're going to play for you that he wanted to call out Stephen A. Smith directly for basically going on TV begging LeBron to be a better dad, given the fact that now Bronny's playing some good basketball. So what we want to do now is we're going to play exactly what Nick Wright had to say to Stephen A. Smith directly, and then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to Nick here.
For seeding. Demonte, there is a follow-up here that I want to get to. This will make people mad probably.
So Bronny, he played in garbage time. He got a couple nice buckets at the end of the game. He had a really nice step back. So give us our Bronny update.
The Bronny update is: are we still gonna go crying on television, begging LeBron James to be a better father and stop this farce? Or are we gonna be like, turns out Bronny is playing exactly like a generic 55th pick of the draft should play. So here's a fun one, Demonte. I looked it up this morning. Bronny James was the 55th pick of the draft. We're now more than halfway through the season. Where do you think Bronny James ranks amongst rookies in minutes? Let's just start with minutes. And again, this is, a little reductive analysis, but you would
how many rookies?
I mean, there's a ton of rookies because you have all the 58 who were drafted and then all the undrafted kids. But my point is, you would hope that the kid drafted number 1 is near number 1 in minutes and points. You know what I mean? And so he was the 55th drafted rookie amongst all rookies. If it was just a generic, guy who you drafted 55th, you would hope you're getting in the moment, I guess, the 55th most production of the rookies. Like that would mean he's playing to his generic draft spot. So, we're at the All-Star break. How's Bronny doing? He is, amongst rookies, exactly 55th in minutes. Oh, okay, well, maybe that's because the Lakers are just, because he's Bron's kid, giving him more opportunities. He's 55th in minutes, but where is he in points? Amazingly, it's crazy that this happened. He is exactly 55th in points. Oh, okay. So he's played, the 55th pick of the draft has played amongst all rookies the 55th most minutes and has the 55th most points. What about other things? Where is he in assists amongst all rookies? And the answer is he is 47th. Oh, right in line but a little maybe better than you'd hoped. Where is he amongst all rookies in steals? Right? That feels like a fair question. Oh, he's 44th, the 55th pick of the draft. Okay, where is he in blocks? The 55th pick of the draft, Bronny James, is 42nd. The only category, the 6'2 guard, is not 55th or better amongst rookies, is rebounds, where he's in, I'll pull it up because I gave the exact ones on the other ones. I want to give the exact ones on this one. Bronny James in rebounding is, I had it right here, 63rd.
So you heard your man Nick Wright getting to Stephen A. Smith. First of all, let me tell you the first thing I enjoy about this. The first thing I enjoy about this is that, you know what? A lot of us guys in independent media get a bad rap. We're viewed as haters. Oh, all you do is call out Stephen A. Smith and this person and that person and this person and that person and this person and that person. That, oh, the guys in media, the guys on TV, they're too big for that. They're not going to call out each other. They're too big for that. Well, it looks like that thought just went out the window. Because apparently these guys on TV, like the rest of us out here in the independent space, they watch everybody, and sometimes they get irritated by some of the things that these people say, and they call them out on it. Nick Wright isn't doing it for clicks and money, because Nick Wright is already making millions of dollars a year doing what he does. He's doing it because it's annoying. Now, if it gets views in the meantime, fantastic. But to say that, oh, you're only doing it for views, who in media is not doing what they're doing for views? Show me this person. Who's the person that's in media that produces content that doesn't do it for views? Who's the person? So I like that part. Let's get to the second part. With Nick Wright calling out Stephen A. Smith for, yo, this is what LeBron fans be doing, son. They don't joke. I told you. Pookie Bear tried to get at me over LeBron. He tried to get at me. Get at me for LeBron James. And you know the irony in all of it? In his rant on his show that he was so fired up about. Oh, I'm doing this dumb. Was it a week or so, a month ago? This dude went on his own Instagram, his own Twitter, and wrote, he posted his car. Why are you doing that? I don't know. But anyway, he posted his car saying, I was too stupid to graduate high school. I was too stupid to graduate college. But now life is all good. This dude is the one running around calling people dumb. Just imagine. Like, let me figure it, like, help us figure it out. Pookie Bear, what's going on, son? Like, this what happens when the honey be flowing through your brain cells, son. You don't be thinking straight. You be like, damn, I just called him dumb, but I'm dumb. Like, and I said I'm dumb. Like, I'm lost. Like, I'm lost. I'm lost. But anyway, I digress from Winnie the Pooh. Let's get back to this right here. These LeBron fans don't be playing, son. Nick Wright calling out Stephen A. Smith. Now, in terms of Bronny, he played very well. He played very well. And what I hope is that Stephen A. Smith sees this video or somebody in his camp sees it, so he responds to it. Do you know why? Because it's about time some of these guys on TV stop acting like they're above the fray. You two are in sports. We all watch each other and we all say things that annoy people. Just like I can get called out by an independent guy, you can get called out too. Nobody's above it. And it got nothing to do with, oh, they're trying to get views on you and get views on me. Nah, sometimes you say things that people are going to disagree with, and you are not above being called out for it. So now Nick Wright calling out Stephen A. Smith. So, hey, welcome to the game.